It's done. Los Angeles just flipped the switch the rest of the West hoped would never be touched. The stretch giant who bends defenses to the breaking point is wearing purple and gold. And the geometry of this team just changed in a way you will feel on the very first empty corner possession. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report. I'm here to bring you what matters with zero fluff and all the details fans actually use to win arguments and understand games. Tonight I'm laying out what this move means in basketball language you can see. How the new piece unlocks Anthony Davis's cleanest shot map. How it lowers LeBron's late-game workload without shrinking his control. How it forces playoff defenses to pick a poison they do not like. And how the front office structured the capital outlay so the window stays open beyond a one-spring fling. I'll walk you through the on-court changes you should expect in Week 1, the rotational shifts that follow in Week 2, the cap math that made this possible, and why the rest of the West is already sharpening scouting reports. Stick with me to the end because I'm going to connect every dot, from spacing and pace to draft capital and chemistry, and only then give you the reveal you came for, in the exact words it deserves. Let me start with the basketball, because the truth lives on the whiteboard. The Lakers of the last year won with disciplined pace, second-side touches, and defense that stayed out of emergency rotations. What they needed when the calendar turned mean was a clean five-out gear they could hit without sacrificing size. That's what Lauri Markkanen gives you on day one. A 7-footer who sprints to the line like a guard, carries gravity 2 steps beyond the arc, and punishes even soft help with a shot that doesn't need perfect balance. Put him above the break next to AD in a pick-and-pop shell and feel the pain point. If the big show's high on Davis's roll, Markkanen's trail 3 is unbothered. If the big stays home, AD collects and finishes before backside help arrives. That alone changes how teams load to the ball in the first 6 seconds of a possession. Add LeBron's ability to force the first rotation off a ball screen and you get the sequence we have not had often enough. Drive, commit, spray, swing, splash. That second side swing is where titles are minted, and this roster just made it the default outcome instead of a hope. Now picture the late-game menu. Last year's crunch-time offense leaned on LeBron's primary creation and AD's elbow hub to generate clean looks while protecting the ball. It worked, until it didn't. When elite playoff units sat on the first layer and dared the weak side spacing to beat them. Markkanen deletes that dare. The best version of the Lakers' last 2-minute set will look like this. 1. LeBron initiates with a side PNR into a short roll for AD. 2. The corner defender tags because he must. 3. The kick goes to a 7-footer shooting in rhythm from 25 feet. 4. The defense tries to recover late and gets punished with a redrive that finishes at the rim or forces a third rotation where role players eat. It's not flashy. It's inevitable, and that inevitability is exactly what wins in April when whistles get stingy and half-courts turn into puzzles. The ripple effect is why I'm excited on a tactical level. For AD, the game gets shorter. His touches arrive cleaner, earlier, and with fewer bodies in his airspace. You'll see it in 3 ways. First, the elbow face-up becomes a one-dribble decision because the weak side stunt is a step deeper. Second, the short roll reads simplify, because the low man is thinking about a 40% shooter on the lift instead of a 33% hope. Third, the offensive glass becomes calmer because long rebounds land in our hands more often when shots are taken on schedule. For LeBron, the workload refocuses from carry to choose. He'll still break games, but he won't have to carry possessions he shouldn't. That's how you keep legs for May without sacrificing wins in January. Let's talk rotation and roles, because that's where fan debates live. The starting group should open with a classic double-gravity look. LeBron as the organizer, AD as the rim threat and elbow hub, Markkanen as the spacer who vacuums help out of the paint, and 2 guards who can screen small to force switches that Lauri devours with quick post seals. The second unit will matter more than ever. A bench that toggles between pistol actions and delay series gets dead serious when your 7-footer is a catch-and-shoot merchant who also runs a mean dribble handoff. Expect more Spain-stacked twists with Markkanen as the popper and AD ghost-slipping into space. A nightmare to tag cleanly without surrendering a corner 3. Defensively, he's not a free rim protector, but he is positionally sound. tall as a forest, and much better in drop than casual observers think. If the shell behind him communicates, he won't be a target. He'll be a wall you steer drives toward, then finish possessions with his length on the glass. The numbers behind the vibe matter, so here's the translation. This move should bump catch-and-shoot volume up by a handful a night, push the team's assist-to-turnover window toward the elite quadrant, and cut the ugly late clock ISOs that haunted certain stretches last season. Think more 0.5-second decisions, fewer heat checks out of structure, and a steady diet of above-the-break threes that quietly add 9 to 12 points without a single highlight. The defensive metrics will tell a subtler story. Fewer scramble threes allowed because the offense takes better shots, which sets the defense. Fewer live ball turnovers, which reduce transition hemorrhages. More set defense reps where this coaching staff shines. That's how you add wins without making a spectacle of it. Now let me step into the front office room, because Lakers fans deserve the adult version. Moves like this are never just about names. They're about the math of windows. The Lakers had to walk a tightrope, improve the present, respect the cap, and avoid stripping the cupboard so bare that you're one sprained ankle from a cliff. You build a package that makes sense only if the outcome is an identity shift, not just a jersey swap. That's what this is. A philosophical decision to live in 5-out spacing as a primary language, not a side dialect, while keeping a too-big look available for matchups that demand bulk. It required stacking the right salaries, timing your picks around existing obligations, and trusting that the marginal gains in shot quality are worth the assets. The reason you make it now, rather than waiting for a last-minute deadline frenzy, is simple. Every extra week with this spacing is compound interest for April. Of course, a big arrival isn't just geometry. It's chemistry. You don't drop a 20-plus scorer into a locker room and expect instant harmony by magic. You get harmony by clarity. Everyone must know the difference between a Markkanen touch and a Markkanen gravity touch. They must know which sets are his and which sets are ours. They must hear from the top, LeBron first, AD right behind, that the ball gets found by the best shot, not the loudest name. That's how you chase the double win, a happier star who shoots when he should, and happier role players who touch the ball when they've earned it. Nothing grenades a season faster than great shots passing up for good shots. Nothing builds belief faster than the reverse. From a coaching lens, I expect 3 immediate tweaks. 1. An uptick in early offense threes for Markkanen off-trail actions, especially after makes, to punish slow-matching bigs. 2. A heavier dose of elbow splits with him as the initiator. If the defense top-locks the cutters, he faces and goes. If they duck, he hits the back door. 3. More inverted pick and roll, where a guard screens for Lauri, forcing an ugly switch and yielding a clean face-up at 17 feet with a jab and go that gets him 2 free throws or a paint collapse. All 3 were available last season in theory. All 3 are weapons in reality now. I'm also watching the non-LeBron minutes like a hawk. A staple of sustainable contention is winning those 8 to 12 minutes by committee. Markkanen lets you run a stable second quarterback offense through AD's elbow hub while keeping spacing legit. A second unit with a true stretch 7 lets a ball-secure guard live in the lane, not the mid-range, and it keeps your turnovers under the danger line. That's how you win Tuesdays in February, and Tuesdays in February decide home court in May. Let me drop a mid-video note right here. If you're rocking with this breakdown and the way we're connecting the film to the front office, hit like and subscribe. I promise to keep treating your time like a fourth-quarter possession. No wasted dribbles, only the reads that matter, and updates the minute they move. Now, back to the meat of it. There's a human layer that matters tonight. Moves this big can make guys press. The best antidote is boring. Roll clarity, early touches on time, and a defensive shell that communicates like a choir. LeBron's leadership here is simple and ruthless. Push to score, kick on time, talk on defense, and model the shot discipline that turns great rosters into great teams. AD's leadership is body language and violence. Set mean screens, own the glass, and treat every short roll like a promise, not a maybe. Markkanen's leadership is humility and hunger. Run the lane, shoot the right shots, and make the extra pass that tells the room you care about the scoreboard more than the line. Now, About that word, confirm. You waited for it and you deserve it in the right place. Inside the building, the green light is real. The alignment is done, the structure is in place, and the message is clear. Lauri Markkanen is a Laker. That's not a rumor in a blog title. That's a decision that aligns the team's identity with how basketball is actually won right now. It's the organizational voice saying out loud what the film has whispered for a year, that LeBron's brain, AD's two-way terror, and a 7-foot laser pointer are the most ruthless version of the purple and gold this era can field. The rest is signatures and scheduling and the league's formalities. The basketball part, the part that really matters, starts on the practice court tomorrow morning. Before I close, I want your voice in here, because this community sees the game. Drop your take in the comments right now. How would you open the first 2 games with this 5-out gear? More empty corner LeBron AD with Lauri lifting, or more horns into a quick pop to test the big's feet? Would you keep 2 shooters glued to the weak side corner in the non-LeBron minutes, or do you prefer an extra handler to spam dribble handoffs with Markkanen? And defensively, are you comfortable keeping him in a conservative drop against second units, or do you want a switch and scram package to speed teams up? I'm reading everything, and the sharpest adjustments you suggest will ride with us in the next breakdown. Here's my concise analysis to land the plane. The move is a fit win, a math win, and a culture win. Fit, because it puts AD in a cleaner world and adds a shooter whose gravity travels. Math, because it upgrades shot quality without adding turnovers and pushes the assist profile where elite teams live. Culture, because it says out loud that this group intends to win with clarity, not chaos. My opinion is direct. This is the rare addition that doesn't just add points, it deletes bad possessions. It gives the Lakers an honest 5-out identity without giving up size, and it lets LeBron choose his spots while the team keeps its edge. If the habits stay boring, the right kind of boring, this upgrade won't just show up in highlights. It'll show up in seeding, in composure, and in the way close games feel. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay locked in here for the updates that respect your time. Film first, cap aware, and made for fans who live every possession like it matters, because it does.